Welcome back to Elizabeth Plants. I'm Elizabeth, and today we are going to be doing kind of like a pottery basket haul and styling video. So today's video is sponsored by Jolie Muse. They were so kind and sent me the pottery and baskets that I'm going to be showing you in this video. To be honest with you guys, they did send me these things for free. But when they reached out to me, I had already had like 12 of their items in my Amazon wish list, and they allowed me to pick from the items I already had in my wish list. So while yes, they did send me these products for free, I had already planned on getting these products either by buying them myself or hoping that loved ones were gifting them to me during like holidays and birthdays and stuff. So I'm really excited to be showing off these things, and then I'm going to be styling them. So first let's talk about the products. So the products there's like 2 products, but they came in packs of several. So the first product is a pack of 2 pots. I absolutely love this style of pot. The like glossy ceramic up top, and then this I don't like touching it, but I love the look of it. It's like super textured. And then I like that it's not like a perfect line, it's like angled. See if I can give you a better shot. It's an angled pot. And then it came with this little one as well, same kind of style. So I love this pack of 2, and I love that because it's a pack, like I get 2 sizes that style similarly but aren't identical. This makes it easy to style together on a shelf. I'm not going to be doing that right now, and that's just because I don't really want to move things around this close to my move. So I will be styling these for you today. However, that's a temporary styling. They will definitely be styled more permanently after the move. But this is our first 2 pots. And I do think it's worth noting that both pots are drainage pots. They have 1 hole in the bottom each, but it comes with little stoppers. And it comes it comes with 2 little stoppers. And I love when pots that have drainage holes come with stoppers, because as you guys know, I have maybe 50% of my small plants particularly, but my plants in leca. And I hate that drainage, like I can't put my leca plants in drainage pots, but I also hate that I can't put my soil plants in pots with no drainage. So I love getting pots that have the drainage hole. And I've already put a plant in here, so it's a little dirty. You'll have to forgive that. But it's got the little drainage hole, but if I want to do leca, I can plug the hole and these can fill with water. They're glazed ceramic, so they aren't like water wicking like a terracotta pot. So that's just like my ideal situation when it comes to pots. So the next product is a pack of 3, and these are baskets. So there's 3 baskets in here. I'll show you each one individually. And what I love about baskets is that they can cover your ugly pots that are like useful pots. You don't want to get rid of them. Pots are expensive to replace, especially ones this size. So maybe you don't like the style doesn't really go with your decor anymore, but baskets can. So I like to use my baskets to either cover up ugly pots or to add style where there is a more practical pot going on that you don't, like you want to use the practical pot but you want it to be cute. Baskets are perfect. I have so many baskets. Most of my baskets are out in the other room, but I do have one directly underneath the camera, just a super cheap one, so it's not like the ultimate cute basket, but it's making an ugly pot cuter. So let's talk about these pots. The pack of 3. Now, large baskets are actually pretty expensive sometimes, and they aren't always cute, and they're a little bit more challenging to find. So that's what drew me to these baskets, because this big basket, not only is it absolutely massive, like it's perfect for the pot covering that I'm going to use it for, But it also has this like cool shape. So it like goes down and then out, almost like a pot would, but it's a basket. And what I also really enjoy about these baskets is that they have the plastic inner coating. None of my other baskets have this plastic inner coating, and it's kind of a to each their own situation, but for indoor plants, I love having the plastic coating because if I water my plant, number one, the water's not just gonna go everywhere if I overwater it a little bit. The plastic will catch it. But number two, the basket won't get all nasty and disgusting and possibly build mold from the moisture because it's protected by the plastic inner coating. Still got the tag on it, so I'll have to pull that off. But this specific basket of the three is the most exciting to me because of its size. However, I love that it's a pack of 3 because that means that I don't have a ton of large plants compared to how many medium and small plants I have. So I can pair it with these next 2 baskets. So this is the next size down. It's similar in shape, but not perfectly the same. It's a little bit more rounded than the first one. And on camera, it actually is picking up like a 3 color situation, which I really love, but in person, it's super subtle. And just makes it kind of look more natural. So I really like this basket. Again, same thing, plastic inner coating and some tags, but plastic inner coating, same rules apply. And then the third basket is much smaller, but it's a completely different shape, and I love that variety. So this one's just kind of tall and like terracotta-esque, which is perfect if you're going to put a terracotta in it. I am not, but that is perfect. And then again, same plastic situation on the inside. And actually, this size is perfect for most of my plants that I have in, well, all of my plants that I have in clear, like, pots, but many of my plants that I have in, like, regular terracotta. I don't always want the look of regular terracotta. I definitely don't always want the look of a clear pot, but I love the flexibility of you not having to replant a pot every time you want to redecorate. You just stick it in a basket, or you stick it in another pot, like using these types of pots as cover pots. So that is awesome. And I do just want to add at this point in the video, because I don't think I introed with it, but La Jolie Muse is offering you guys a discount. So if you are interested in these products or like the dozens more that they have, there will be links to that and information and stuff in the description below. So definitely check that out. So now let's talk styling. For the sake of like space and my sanity, and also just like my partner's office is in the living room and some of these plants are in the living room, I'm going to be showing you pictures of how I'm going to style them, and then I'm just going to talk to you about it versus like bringing the camera to where I'm styling it. My partner's playing video games in the other room. It won't be cute or enjoyable for any of us. But let's start with the baskets. So we are going to start with the small basket. This one was actually the easiest to style, but also the hardest because there were so many options for this guy. Now I already have a ton of baskets out in the living room, so I decided that I was going to use this guy in here. Now I'm going to show you a photo of it with a Rhaptophora tetrasperma. However, that's not probably the permanent plant I'm going to use. So this is the raft that I have photographed in it. I think this plant fits very beautifully into the pot. I like when the like baskets or the cover pots are ever so slightly taller than the actual pot it's in, because it just makes it, I mean, depending on the plant, but for plants this size, it makes it look so much more lush at the bottom. Now the reason I probably won't be putting this guy in this basket long term is because of the location where he is in this office. It'll hide the basket too much, and I want to be able to see the basket. And also I have another plant in mind that looks much uglier where it is without the basket. So if you watched my last repotting, I repotted my Jose Bono, my philodendron Jose Bono. That is the plant that I'm going to be placing in this basket. I'm gonna need you guys to just calm down for a second. This guy was very in need of water this morning when I was doing this styling in my brain. So he's been watered, but he hasn't had time to perk back up, which is why he is not who I photographed in the pot. But once he perks back up and it finishes adjusting to the soil, he is going to look so phenomenal in this basket. Just picture more plump leaves. So that is why I photographed it with the tetrasperma first. But definitely such a stark difference for plant styling. It looks so much better in the basket. Next, let's talk about this guy. So a large portion of the ceramic pots that I have bought and that I have laying around are blue colored, and that is because way back when, well before this channel even started, but when my plants really picked up, I lived in North Carolina, and the color theme of my bedroom was blue and like a tannish color. And so I bought a lot of blue pots for that room, and they weren't cheap, so I really struggled to get rid of them or just like replace them for fun. So what I've been doing is just dealing with it and being okay with the blue that no longer suits my style. However, the baskets have really made it so much nicer to cover up the blue. And so the next two pots are actually covering up blue pots that I no longer like. So this guy, I'm blanking on the name of the plant that's going in him. I know it, it's an easy one. I'll put it up on screen. But this guy is going to be going in this pot. Now, technically, he's a plastic clear pot that's sitting inside of the blue pot because the blue pot's a little bit too big for him, but the blue pot fits the space and the size of the greenery better than the little plastic one. So sitting the plastic pot in the blue pot makes the plant more stable. Now, I can just stick the clear pot in this guy. Super easy, it's really not that big of a deal, but to save on space and storage, I don't need the blue pot for anything else right now, especially with me moving. It's a breakable pot. I'm not going to plant anything in it right now, and I don't like the way it looks. So I'm just going to stick the clear plastic pot in the blue pot in this medium-sized basket. So I'm showing you right now, if I haven't already shown you what that looks like before the basket and after the basket, because the greenery on this plant is so full and the pot is so small, the root system, it could probably use a larger pot, but I'm not bothering with it right now because it's doing so well. So I'm just going to re-style him in baskets. And he's next to this dresser. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see the dresser in the photo, but this dresser that is all wood colors and varied wood colors. So the basket looks so good next to it. Okay, and like I mentioned, this big pot is also going to be covering up, or this big basket is also going to be covering up it's not ugly, but it doesn't suit my style anymore, blue pot. Now, large pots are quite pricey, and this is a large pot, but also large baskets are kind of pricey, so covering it up, I've kind of, up until now, just accepted isn't going to happen. And I have, I think, 2 of these pots, and they're sitting right next to each other. And I don't love the styling of 2 identical pots next to each other. So what I'm doing is I have chosen to put my fiddle leaf fig temporarily in this basket in his blue pot. And it fits perfectly in this basket. Perfect height, perfect width. It's perfect. So it looks super good in this basket. Now, long term, the plant next to it is, wow, my memory is just not it today. Yeah, I'll put the name of the plant up on screen. I'm probably not going to move with my fiddle leaf fig. They aren't well known for traveling well, and they're fairly common plants. Sure, not so much the size that I have, but I'm not super attached to the plant. I love the way it looks, but I'm not super attached to it. So I will likely be giving away or selling my fiddle leaf fig before the move. The plant sitting next to it, whose name escapes me, Bird of Paradise. The Bird of Paradise sitting next to it is moving with me because I believe I unboxed it on camera way at the beginning of my channel. So good luck finding it if it is something I recorded. But I bought them when they were like this big, and now they're big. They're not like massive, but they're big. And so long term, that is likely the plant that will be going in this basket. Now, styling with the large basket kind of just comes around to large pot size. Honestly, none of the plants I have that are sizable to this basket would look bad in it simply because they are large plants. So if the pot size of the plant is approximately this size, it's probably gonna look pretty fantastic. All right, so now let's style these guys. These guys are so much more flexible than the baskets because I can do leca, I can do soil, I can pot in them, I can pot in a pot and then put in them. Now, because I'm moving, I will not be potting directly into these guys for the simple fact that if I pot them directly into these guys, I'm gonna have to unpot them in the very near future anyways to make the move easier. So I'm just not gonna do that. So instead I'm using these guys as cover pots for now. So in case you've never come across a pot that comes with a plug, I'll show you how it goes. I use them all the time. These white pots that I have come with, a single hole at the bottom, and they come with plugs. And so I use them 50% plugs, 50% not plugs all the time. I use them as cover pots all the time because the clear pots aren't always cute, but I want access to see my soil. So they make for perfect cover pots. These guys, absolutely adorable cover pots. And they're nice and ceramic. They're, honestly, just look at them. They're awesome. But the little plugs look something like this. And then you've got the hole in the bottom. Generally, you just, and I'm not going to be able to do it one-handed, but you just pop that right into the hole. And then the plant that I have chosen for this little guy is my Scindapsus pictus. It's in this absolutely ugly plastic pot, and it's been in it for a long time. I mean, it's got kind of nasty on the outside of it, and the super long trail that I will promise to cut before the move, if not for anything but insurance. But this pot actually barely fits into the cover pot, or this, yeah. So just naturally it sits on top, which honestly is not a bad look in and of itself. You can barely notice, especially from afar with the trail going down the middle. I can because it's plastic. I'm not gonna do it while holding that up in the air, but you just kind of pinch it, pinch and tuck. And because it's plastic, it goes immediately in there. Then I plug up the hole, and it's a leca reservoir, water reservoir pot. Now I chose this plant in particular because of the pot it's already in, but also because of the size of the plant. Now I love, and this is just like a me personal thing, it's totally up to you what your style is, but I love having plants that are kind of bushy up here but then have one trail going down when it's this size pot and this style of pot. I just think it looks really put together and really like it should go in a magazine. So this guy will go here. And I will probably be placing him on a pot, or probably be placing him on a shelf that's above the camera. It's a wood, like a dark wood shelf, so it pairs so nicely with this guy. Then next to that, but probably not on the same shelf, probably on a shelf down here or over off camera, will be this pot. Now, after the move, my hope is that I would be able to put them on the same wall, not necessarily on the same shelf, but these pots to be when you look at a wall, you can see them both, just not immediately next to each other. I love kind of that off asymmetry. So I kind of love that. But this guy I struggled with because I do really love the idea of it being a more full plant that's in it, but I also don't want to match this guy perfectly. And that's just a me thing. And then most of my full plants are in pots that I can't just set in here due to them being like self-watering, so they're quite a bit bigger. So I kind of struggled, and then I decided that I'm going to actually put a smaller plant in here. And because it's a cover pot, I can do that. So I will actually be putting cuttings that I've rooted and put in leca in this guy as a cover pot. Now because these plugs seem to be more challenging to put in these pots just due to the the not smoothness of the ceramic, what I'll probably do is this pot is big enough to put just like a little tray in. So I'll put a little tray in this pot to put this plant in. But I think it looks really nice, not being like super full. Eventually, the goal is that this guy will be super full, and they grow pretty fast, and I have more cuttings that I plan to add to it at some point. Probably not before the move. But yeah, I think this guy looks really cute. And then if you kind of have them, this guy up on a shelf and this guy down on like a table, but on the same like wall, I think that they look phenomenal that way. I think they'll style just really beautifully. So that was my pot basket haul and styling video. I don't really do a ton of plant styling in general, but I've definitely not done much pot styling on here. And that's partially because my house is so chaotic right now with planning the move that it's just it's not cute. It's not well styled. But I thought this was fun, and I'm really excited to style these plants after the move in the new place. But these pots and baskets were sent to me thanks to these pots and baskets were sent to me thanks to La Jolie Muse. Again, if you want a discount, it will be down in the description, linked and just kind of described. If you like this kind of content, if you want to see me do more styling content maybe after the move, let me know in the comments down below. Like this video, subscribe if you like my content and you want to see more, ring the bell to be notified. I highly recommend you ring the bell because YouTube doesn't always show everything you follow or subscribe to in your homepage. So if you want to make sure that you don't miss my content, definitely ring the bell. But yeah, if you like this, definitely do all of those things. And I will see you next time.